How's it going, people? Welcome back to Casual Gaming Reviews. My next two episodes will be looking at the Alan Wake 2 DLCs, Night Springs and The Lake House. I'll be focusing on Night Springs in this video. Developed by Remedy Entertainment, one of my favourite developers. I completed all three episodes in roughly 3.5 hours, reviewed on Xbox Series X. Gameplay. This DLC is split into 3 episodes. The first, titled Number 1 Fan, you play as Rose from the diner who loves Alan. The second, titled North Star, you play as Jesse from Control, Remedy's previous game. The third, titled Timebreaker, you play as Tim Breaker the Sheriff, but really, without getting too spoilery, you play as the actor Shawn Ashmore himself. The first episode with Rose is a slugfest, where the game gives you lots of ammo, lots of explosives to play with, and you will just shotgun your way through the enemies. The other 2 episodes are much more like the base game. With Jesse and Shawn's episodes, you will have your classic Alan Wake makeup of a flashlight and a pistol. This is particularly sad for Jesse's story, as we are so used to the powers we can wield with her in Control. She seems a bit more watered down now. Naturally, Rose's episode is a lot more fast paced than the latter 2, who follow a slow and steady approach. It is worth noting that episode 3 actually goes through other gameplay mechanics due to it being a multiverse story, and you will experience sections like an arcade style shooter and a text-based narrative adventure, to name a couple. I played on quality mode, one of the few games where I do, and it ran without a hitch. Performance mode runs even better, but for this game I like to prioritize visuals. Speaking of visuals, Alan Wake 2 is one of the best looking games out there, and this is really shown in the first episode of Night Springs, where Rose hits the town during sunset and massacres wave after wave of haters for her beloved writer, while washed in the pink glow of the setting sun, which perfectly matches her pink diner attire. In contrast, episode 2 was far too dark. Even with a flashlight, it was incredibly difficult to see anything or where you were supposed to go. I had to turn all my lights off to even see anything, and that was kind of frustrating. Episode 3 was superb visually. It goes through a handful of art style changes, whether it be a noir backwash or the pop of a comic book strip. It really takes you on a visual journey. Across all episodes, facial animations are great, character designs are very realistic, and the environments were reused from the base game outside of a couple of areas, and we all know how gorgeous they were. Audio and music. Episode 1 takes you on an audio ride down a sadistic road, with music playing like everything is sunshine and daisies, while you splash your diner apron with blood. It is very much like being inside the mind of the obsessive fan, one would think. Episode 2 and 3 are very eerie, dark, ominous tones, very much akin to what you'd expect from a survival horror. It is worth noting that the audio-visual jump scares that made my pants brown in the base game do not exist here in this DLC. Also, the Night Springs songs that they play at the end of each episode is an absolute banger. Story and dialogue. All 3 of these stories are buck wild. They are told in a Twilight Zone TV show fashion and just ooze the classic Remedy formula. Rose is going to stop at nothing to save her beloved writer from an army of haters powered by love and her shotgun. Jessie wants to find her lost brother but gets entangled in a sinister coffee cult. Shawn just wants to act in a video game but instead gets transported across the multiverse trying to find the master of many worlds. Each take you on a journey where at the end you're sitting staring at your reflection in the TV, conjuring up ideas of what you think just happened. That, I think, is a very creative thing. Night Springs is an enjoyable DLC for an already wonderful game. It was great getting to play as characters you could not in the base title, and I think it delivers on giving fans something more to have fun with in this universe. All of these stories are standalone and can be enjoyed in their own right. Where it falls short is the runtime, how incredibly dark episode 2 is, and how Jessie was stripped of her powers. Night Springs gets a casual gamer score of 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and keep an eye out for my Alan Wake 2 The Lake House review coming later this week. Also bear in mind that Metaphor ReFantazio and Life is Strange Double Exposure will also be coming shortly. Thanks for the support, peace and love.
My accessories. Everything a girl needed to claim victory in the battle for love.